this training video on pseudo-random number generation in numpy. To generate a pseudo-random number, simply termed as random numbers or sample values of various dimensions, numpy provides random modules with many functions to generate various random numbers. We can directly use the functions without setting them. Let me create a range of random values from the random module with a randn function. That is np.random.randn. If we do not pass any integer value, it will simply generate a single random number. The docstring says it returns a sample or samples from the standard normal distribution. Here d0, d1 and dn are used to represent the size and shape of the random numbers. When we use more than one single integers, the random function will generate arrays of different dimensions. Let us use the shape 2x3 to generate a random numbers from our choice. So in simple, we can say that to generate a random numbers of specific shape, pass the integer numbers of our choice. Here I would like to generate an array of 2 rows and 3 columns. To get an higher dimension array of random numbers, just increase the number of integer of our choice. Say for example, I would like to create a 2 arrays of shape 3 cross 2. That is 2 arrays of shape 3 rows and 2 columns. So I need to pass 2 for 2 arrays and the shape, that is 3 rows and 2 columns. To generate the random numbers from the normal distribution function, use normal function instead of randn along with the size of the array, that is np.random.normal, and then pass the size of the array. Here the size is none by default as per the docstring of the normal function. If we do not pass the size, it will simply generate the one single random number through the normal distribution. In order to avoid using the np.random module always, we can import all the functions from the random module to the local namespace using star. Let us import all the functions from the random module to the local space. From numpy.random import all, and then seed module with the seed function, so that all the numbers are going to generate through the deterministic behavior of the module. So let us seed the random function using the seed operator and then generate the random numbers. Let me create a range of samples from a normal distribution with the mean 0 and the standard deviation 1. To generate the samples from the uniform distribution, use rand function. To generate a random integers from a given low to high range, use randint function. If we pass shape to the size parameter of the randint, it returns a random numbers generated within the low and high range up to the size of the shape passed. For example, let me generate a random numbers of size 2 cross 5 between the low and high range. Each random number will be generated number of times the size of the given shape and then displayed to us. So the parameters in the docstring are low, high, and size is none by default, and the default data type is of type integer. So let me create a random numbers with the array shape 2 cross 5 between the low and high range of 10 and 30 respectively. If I try to use or try to reshape, if I try to use reshape on randint, it gives error because I cannot create a multi-dimensional array with a single random number or single random integer value. For example, randint will generate a single random number between the low and high range. So here we got a single random number between the low and high range of 10 and 30 respectively. If I try to reshape using the reshape method, we will get an error. But I can use on rand_n. So if we want to generate a random numbers or random values of specific shape by ignoring the type of the values, use rand_n. So let us create an array of 2 cross 5 with the 10 random numbers created by the random function. The data generation function in numpy.random use a global random seed. To avoid global state, we can use numpy.random.randomState to create a random number generator isolated from others. So let us create a rand from the random state isolated from others, and then use the other functions similar to like random, and then the function name, that is the rand function. So let me create a random numbers from the rand function, rand.rand, and then a randint function to create a random integer sample, and rand_n function to create a range of random values, and normal function to create a random numbers from the normal distribution, and uniform function to create a random value from the uniform function or uniform distribution. Similarly, we can create a random numbers with multi-dimensional shape and practice well. Thanks for watching this training video. I recommend you to continue learning with a series of training videos.